there's 20-year-olds who have probably got more songs on file than I've got on record, and you know that's not right. And why should it be free? If you go down a sandwich shop, you know, you don't say I'll have me ciabatta with me sausage and egg and I won't pay for it. So why should people not pay for music? It's wrong. I think it's about valuing music. I think when we got into music, we valued it and loved it because we paid for it. And I think all these people that are downloading music aren't paying for it, and they think music is free, and they think it's a bit throwaway, and they don't, you know, they don't respect it. They don't love it as much as we did and do.
Because
and that's been, yeah, because if you don't pay for something, I don't think you value it as much. The problems with the music industry probably stems back from the CD. You know, when it was a record, you couldn't press a record in your front room, so you had to buy the record. You could put it on a cassette, and if you liked it, you'd buy it. But once it went to the digital, the CD, you could burn a like for like in your front room on your computer, and that's the beginning of the end of bought music, I think. The major labels have got a bit to answer for because they charge so much for the albums, where they cost less to manufacture, and then they were selling for twice the price of what a vinyl album would be. So you know, you'd go, I'm not paying that. Whereas if they did think about selling them a bit cheaper, maybe people wouldn't have got out of the habit of buying records. The music is there. It's just you know, yeah, it needs investment, and if they're making money, I mean, the money that the record labels are losing is going to Apple. Well, then maybe they should reinvest it in finding talent or whatever. But how would they do it? I don't know. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? It's like the piracy thing. The only people who ever bang on about sort of like piracy and are anti-piracy are like REM, Metallica and U2. And it's like, and people go, well, what, it doesn't affect them, does it, because they're multi-millionaires? But it's like, yeah, but it affects me. But they won't put me on News at 10 and say, look, you're taking food out of my mouth by nicking that. So it's hard, isn't it? But, you know, they only put the big faces on. But what they're arguing for is absolutely true.
Do you think there's still a future in making music for a living?
Certainly, well, I hope so. I mean, I've lasted, you know, most of my adult life. And, you know, I don't know if it lasts another 2 years or 5 years or 10 years. You know, it'd be great if I could go all the way, but it's hard. It's, you know, it's very hard to earn a decent living.
Do you think it's just because at the moment everything's sort of in flux and nobody knows where it's going?
No, I just think the arse fell out of the industry for whatever reasons, and so the money isn't there. I mean, you know, the people are charging less for studios now than they were charging 20 years ago. Infinitely less. Most things go up in time, not down. I mean, you know, it's just the arse just completely fell out of it. The value fell out of it.
Do you think record labels had it coming though?
I don't know. I don't know how, you know, how they worked and what they sort of spunked money on, and I don't know. Because obviously there was a time when, you know, it was loads of money, and you know, wafting fivers out your pockets and stuff, and it obviously isn't like that now. But you know, that's obviously a consequence of them not getting money in from record sales, because you know, it's this never-ending cycle, isn't it?
Have you done it? Have you downloaded stuff?
No, I've never downloaded a thing. I wouldn't know how.
Well, we hope you enjoyed what Paul Tipler had to say. Remember, subscribe to The Racket because there are plenty more where that came from. We've got lots of contacts inside the industry. We've got quite a few videos out there already, and we post them on a regular basis. So get subscribed, follow us on social media, and have a wander around our YouTube channel.
I think it's quite hard because a lot of younger bands and interesting bands don't get